and all that jazz. I'm gonna rouge my knees and roll my stockings down, and all that jazz. Start the car. I know a whoopee spot where the genie's cold, but the piano's hot. It's just a noisy hall where there's a nightly brawl, and all that jazz. Find a flask, we're playing fast and loose, and all that jazz. Right up here is where I store the juice, and all that jazz. Come on, babe, we're gonna brush the sky. I bet you're lucky Lindy never flew so high, 'cause in the stratosphere, how could you lend an ear to all that jazz? Come on, why don't we fade to town? And all that jazz, and all that jazz. Gonna rouge my knees and roll my stockings down, and all that jazz, and all that jazz. Start to come, I know a whoopee spot where the genie's cold, but the piano's hot. It's just a noisy hall where there's a nightly brawl, and all that. No, I'm no one's wife, but I love, and all that jazz. My sister Veronica and I had this double act, and my husband Charlie traveled around with us. Now, for the last number in our act, we did these 20 acrobatic tricks in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 splits, spread eagles, flip-flops, backflips, one right after the other. Well, this one night we were in Cicero, the three of us, sitting up in a hotel room, boozing and having a few laughs, when we ran out of ice. So I went out to get some. I come back, open the door, and there's Veronica and Charlie doing number 17, the spread eagle. Well, I was in such a state of shock, I completely blacked out. I can't remember a thing. It wasn't until later, when I was washing the blood off my hands, I even knew they were dead. They had it coming. They had it coming. They had it coming all along. I didn't do it, but if I done it, how could you tell me that I was wrong? They had it coming. 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 They took the fall along. I didn't do it, but if I done it, how could you tell me that I was wrong? My sister and I had an act that couldn't flop. My sister and I were headed straight for the top. My sister and I earned $1,000 a week at least, oh yeah. But my sister is now, unfortunately, deceased. I know it's sad, of course, but a fact is still a fact. And now all that remains is the remains of a perfect double act. Do you know that you are exactly the same size as my sister? You would fit in her wardrobe perfectly. Look, why don't I show you some of the act, huh? Watch this. Now you have to imagine it with two people. It's swell with two people. First I, drums. Then she, saxophone. Then we'd, together. But I can't do it alone. When she'd go, I'd go. We'd go. Then those ding-dong daddies started a roar, whistled, stomped, stepped on the floor, yelling, screaming, begging for more. And we said, okay, fellas, keep your socks up, 'cause you ain't seen nothing yet. on, you can say. Nifty. Watch this. Then she'd. Then I'd. Then we'd. But I can't do it alone. And we said, okay, boys, we're going home. But before we do, here's a few more parting shots. And this we did in perfect unison. Get ready! Now you see me going through it. It may seem there's nothing to it, but I simply cannot do it. Like a deserted bride on her wedding night, all alone and shaking with fright, with her brand new hubby nowhere in sight. I simply cannot do it alone. Can you imagine? I mean, can you imagine? Can you believe it? I mean, can you believe it? I know a girl who lands on top. You could put her face into a pail of slop, and she'd come up smelling like a rose. How she does it, heaven knows. I know a girl with so much luck. She could get run over by a 2-ton truck, then brush herself off and walk away. How she does it, couldn't say. Whilst I, on the other hand, put my face in a pail of slop, and I would smell like a pail of slop. I, on the other hand, get run over by a truck, and I am deader than a duck. I know a girl who tells so many lies. Anything that's true would truly cross her eyes. But what that mouse is selling, the whole world buys, and nobody smells a rat. My dear little baby, my dear little baby, my sweet little baby, my sweet little baby.
Sure, go ahead.
Hit it. Well, when I got on the stand, I thought I'd take a peek at the jury. Then I thought I'd cross my legs like this, you know.
When Velma takes the stand.
Then when Harrison cross-examines me, I thought I'd give him this. And if he yells at me, I thought I'd tremble like this. Oh, no, please, stop.
When Velma takes a stand. Look at little Vel. See her, give him hell. Ain't she doing grand? She's got him eating out of the palm of her hand.
Then I thought I'd let it all be too much for me, like real dramatic. Then I thought I'd get real thirsty and say, please, somebody, could I have a glass of water?
When Velma takes the stand. See that Kelly girl make that jury whirl. When she turns it on, she's gonna get him going till she's got him gone.
Then I thought I'd cry, buckets. Oh, only I don't have a handkerchief. That's when I have to ask you for yours. I really like that part, don't you? Then I get up and I try to walk. Ooh, oh dear. Oh, only I'm too weak, and I slump, and I slump, and I slump, and I slump. Until finally I fell.
Velma takes the stand.
not hurt. I guess I'll go now, but not quietly. May I have my exit music, please?